We're in the county recorder's office here in the county's administrative building on the 5th floor with the county recorder, Willis Blackshear. Mr. Blackshear, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I have a number of questions to ask you. To begin with, you're an elected official. People go to the polls and elect you to an office, and yet a lot of people don't fully understand what this office does. Can you help explain exactly what the recorder's office does?
The recorder's office is responsible for keeping accurate land records. As an example, mortgages and deeds are not only recorded here, but they're on file here for the public's view. Mainly you have attorneys who come in and do research. You also have genealogists and historians who might want to research. And then also you have just general people, the general public, that want to come in and review those documents, and we have to make those documents readily available for their view.
Okay, now what is the history of the recorder's office? How far back do the records go?
The records here go back to 1803 when the state of Ohio became a state. Up until 1829, the recorder was an appointed position by the Common Pleas Court. In 1829, it became an elective position, and until 1936, the recorders served 2-year terms, and in 1936, it went from a 2-year term to a 4-year term. And I am the 33rd recorder in Montgomery County.
Oh, okay. Now, you say in terms of land, so let's say if somebody wants to come in here and some company wants to come in and build a new strip mall or a new business. Do they have to come through you? How do they parcel out the land?
Well, we're not, the engineer is responsible for confirming the new descriptions of the properties, but those plats, the plat maps, are recorded here in the recorder's office.
Okay, so when you see those layouts, those diagrams with the...
Right, we can go out and look at some of the plat books so you can get an idea of, as an example, years ago, most of this land was farmland. And as cities were established and homes were built, they ended up making subdivisions. And so as a result of that, you can go back and trace when a particular piece of property years ago may have been a part of a farm or whatever.
So this affects everybody in the county. This is, I mean, there's obviously, if you live in the county, there's a record of your property in this office.
Exactly, and it affects anyone who is a landowner. Whether you are or not, in some shape or form, if you're doing a historical search, you can come to the recorder's office and get those records.
So that, okay, but people can come and view that, like you said, if someone's searching out perhaps their the old family farm or those sort of historical facts, can come and do that.
And the fees that we charge are set up by state statute. So it's not like the recorder can say, I'm going to charge a person $10 for this particular document, and I'm going to charge this individual $2.
Okay, and, so, it's uniform throughout the state, I assume.
Right. All 88 recorders have the same fee structure across the state.
Obviously, our economy is having a difficult time, and you identified a role for this office as it pertains to foreclosures. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Prior to becoming recorder, I was an assistant treasurer in the Montgomery County Treasurer's Office. And in one of my capacities, we had to identify whether real estate taxes were due on parcels that were in foreclosure. And as a result of that, the last 5 or 6 years, we saw a huge spike in the number of foreclosure filings here in Montgomery County. So when I got appointed recorder in December of 2006, I wanted to take a role from this end to try to do something to try to help citizens of Montgomery County.
Because you saw they were losing their homes in
record numbers. And so what we did was, since the mortgages are filed here, we found a way through Dr. Richard Stock from the University of Dayton. He had identified the top subprime lenders here in Montgomery County. And based on his research, we were able to go through mortgage documents and identify people who had adjustable rate mortgages that were going to, payments were going to be changing.
They were at risk.
Right. And we worked with the State Treasurer's Office. The State Treasurer's Office mailed out over 3,400 letters to citizens here in Montgomery County that we deemed as at risk. We also partnered with County Corp, which is a nonprofit agency, and they have provided counseling to those individuals that we mailed letters to. And the next phase of our program is we're wanting to hire 2 individuals who have mortgage lending experience to physically go out into the community and knock on the doors of those folks who did not respond to our letters to try to help them hopefully refinance their mortgage to a fixed rate product which would work for them in order to keep them in their homes.
Yeah. So what kind of advice, what would you tell somebody watching this? What would you say to them about what steps could they take now that would help with that situation?
I think the first piece of advice that I would give any individual who is a homeowner or as the individual who owns property and you have a mortgage on that particular piece of property is to go to that file cabinet or wherever you keep that document stored and look at that document to see exactly what type of mortgage you have. If you're in a situation where you really have a problem understanding that the legal language or whatever you want to call it, that you consult or talk to someone that you know and have them help you review that document to make sure it is what you thought it was when you got that mortgage.
So Willis, if someone wanted to get some more information about this office, for example, what are the hours of operation?
Well, our hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. For those individuals who have access to a computer, they can go to www.mcrecorder.org and pull up the website and look up information.
Is there a phone number?
The phone number here is area code 937-225-4275.